Well, President Obama urging Congress to authorize the use of military force to fight ISIS, but a growing number of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle vowing to oppose the request.
I'm concerned about the breadth and vagueness of the ground troop language. The limitation against enduring offensive ground combat operations, suggesting that all defensive ground combat operations are okay.
I'm concerned that all he's really talking about is containment over a long period of time. And Megan, I don't think we can really toy with ISIS over a long period of time. I think we need to take them out.
Kevin Cirilli is here. He is a reporter for The Hill. And Kevin, it seems like the pushback has flip-flopped, if you will. You've got the words coming out of the GOP mouths that you would normally hear from the Dems and vice versa. Talk to me more about these points of contention.
Well, that's a great point. You know, a lot of Republicans are saying, hey, wait a minute, what the president is putting forth is going to be too binding for our military and the brave men and women serving overseas, and that it wouldn't actually allow them to take out these ISIS terrorists. It's too limited in its scope. Now, on the flip side of that, you've got progressives who are saying, absolutely not, President Obama. This is something that is much too broad and doesn't provide enough context. So the president has really flicked a political hot potato, if you will, to Congress with regards to having each of them. They're going to have a vote on this for what the nation's path forward is going to be on ISIS, when quite frankly the president really doesn't even need technically an approval from Congress to take out ISIS in this regard.
And the reason why you're saying that, because the authorized use of military force, the AUMF passed in 2001, which stands for Authorization of Use of Military Force, already grants the president authority to take on ISIS and U.S. forces. The president is saying they've done so in both Iraq and Syria since last summer. So if Congress does not enact the president's proposal, we already just noted that it's going to have little practical impact. But what's the political impact? I mean, GOP leaders have griped in the past that Congress has been left out of the debate.
Well, House Speaker John Boehner actually praised President Obama for allowing lawmakers to have a vote. And this, you know, with any use of military force, I think the American people largely would agree that there should be a vote in Congress from our elected lawmakers. You know, what is this all about? This is about 2016, 2016, 2016.
Come on, it can't be about 2016. There's a fight going on, and this is serious. Are you serious?
No, it is. You're absolutely right. But, I mean, it's going to force people to weigh in and to go on the record. You have Senator Rand Paul already saying, blaming Hillary Clinton for what's happening overseas.
What, Karen, stop that. That's madness. This is a serious situation, and we just reported that tribal leaders in Iraq, here it is, I'll read it again, reportedly saying ISIS is gaining ground and Anbar province could be in danger of falling within hours. Should that happen, it would put the militants near the Iraqi capital of Baghdad. The Pentagon, though, is saying Anbar is not under ISIS control. Now, we know that in these situations there is advances and there are blocks put in front, roadblocks put in front of ISIS. But I mean, again, this is a serious situation. So the Americans want to know, and I ask you, you're not part of Congress, but I'm asking you, Kevin, do you have any idea of a time frame of when they're going to get it together there in D.C. on this?
Well, everyone wants them to get it together in D.C., and absolutely, I'm not questioning at all the seriousness of what's happening overseas and the brave men and women serving over there to fight off these ISIS terrorists. But I do think that a vote in Congress, you have to remember President Obama came in as someone who was an anti-war candidate. So I think that it's going to force a lot of lawmakers to go on the record.
What does that mean, considering the situation at hand?
Well, it means the situation at hand that these lawmakers are going to have to go on record to the Democrats looking at the State Department and their role in President Obama's foreign policy. We're going to have a national foreign policy debate in this country, and we're heading into a new cycle. And clearly, foreign policy is going to be on the minds of voters as we head into this new cycle, especially as tensions are escalating overseas.
Kevin Cirilli, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And happy Valentine's Day. We'll end on an up note.
You too.
Thanks, Kevin. Okay. And I want to remind our viewers to tune in tomorrow on Fox News Sunday when Chris Wallace is going to sit down for an exclusive interview with House Speaker John Boehner. Please check your local listings for the times.